What's up, guys? We're back today, and I have for you a Banlist wish list. And somewhat of a prediction. I'm not really sure. It's in between the two. Um, I think these are what I expected to get hit, but you never know. Most of it are kind of wish lists, so I have like a category called unsure, and I'll show you guys pretty soon. But I think we're all, we can all agree that Banlist season is in effect. People are excited to finally play a new format. Lightning Overload or Drive, whatever, just got released. I'll never know what the set is called for some reason. But this new ban list, man, it's gonna be pretty exciting. It's gonna be pretty exciting. So let's see what's on the line here. All right, guys, we're back, and here is my guess. First off, we're starting the ban category, Black and White Baby Dragons. I think those cards should get banned instead of hitting KS base, mainly just because these cards generate so much free advantage. And with KS base, it gets really ridiculous, right? So I was thinking, why not just let, people, the KS players, keep their KS base and, just search their levy. That's totally fine with me. And, instead of getting these cards, because when you KS base and they summon a black dragon, you're going to be super behind. They go so plus, they get a free draw, they get multiple searches. And it kind of like defeated the point of these cards being at 1 when you can just keep searching them, right? So I think these cards should be banned. Who knows, really? Striker Dragon, I think, should also get banned. Yo, the Dragon Link is oppressive, man. If you guys look into the game, a lot of the Link ones in the format, such as like Prank Kid Meow Meow, or like Marin Sus Blue Slug, those Link ones can only be summoned once per turn. Striker Dragon is like Balings. It's like that cat, the wheelchair cat, as Septo would call it. And literally, you can keep summoning that card so much, and like the Striker Dragon is also part of the LP combo. Like, that's just so ridiculous. I think that, honestly, I don't have LP on this list, mainly for the fact that I think if they hit Striker Dragon, they might not hit LP because, I don't know, probably some Konami representative is probably a Dragon Link player and will never want to hit LP for some reason, but that's up for another debate. Then you have Miss. I think this card should get banned. I was gonna limit Fossil Dig, but I thought Miss maybe should get banned. Like I said, this is a wish list, and somewhat of a prediction. It's really a hybrid of the two, but I think Miss should get banned, and you like keep Fossil Dig. If they want to search Oviraptor, go Copium, play Dino XD. But I think Miss has just been a huge problem. Maybe this card should be at 1. Maybe I'm a little bit too harsh on Dinos. The deck has sacked me into infinity, into oblivion, but I don't know. I would say in between banned or limited, either or is fine. Realistically, maybe at 1 is more fair, because they can't just go normal summon, normal summon Oviraptor and you chain Veiler, and they always have the miss. Anyways, for the Hornet Drones, So, I think this card should get banned, mainly because I think Engage and Kagari can go to 1. So Kagari going from 3 to 1 and Engage going from 0 to 1. The token generation is way too oppressive. It makes Engage literally a staple in like so many decks. So I'm thinking you ban the Hornet Drones, you put the Kagari and the Engage to 1, and then you keep it kind of within engine. Next, IO. I think this card should have been way banned. If you go first and you have IO set up, I think the win rate is so low for your opponent. It's almost impossible. Guys, think of how many power cards are in the game that are spell cards. This card says no to all of it. It's just way too crazy, man. Mystic Mine, I think, should be banned. The card is like super degenerate. If this card resolves and you don't have an out, you just lost the game. And you can maybe justify, why don't you just play main deck Twin Twister, main deck Cosmic, Omega Law? Man, is that, I don't know. I don't think that should justify Mystic Mine being at 3 ever. Next, App Clone. I was thinking you ban App Clone and then so that people can't just play in the Deer in any deck or Maximus in any deck and then just have a Winda engine. Like, I think like the invoked Dogma engine is literally not that great. It's only like its win condition is literally Winda. It's literally a Shaddoll port that wins them the game. It's not Alistair, right? It's not Alistair, right? Alistair never wins you games. It's Winda every single time, right? So in that instance, I think that maybe if you ban App Clone, which will suck for like the pure Shaddoll players, for the Shaddoll invoked players or like for the Shaddoll fans, but it makes it so that like you can't just splash like the Winda engine everywhere with Schism. So that's my take on it. I'm not sure. It'll probably be more in the unsure category. I doubt they'll hit the App Clone, but something to consider. Next, for the limited section, I think these cards should go to 1. I mean, these cards are, after playing 2014 format, these cards I think are fine at 1 and 1. I don't see any issue with it. Tidal can maybe be kind of cracked in Mermails, but even then, it's like okay. Same thing with Blaster. It's literally a pop. Redux is the only one that I think that's too crazy because of the Zoo deck. So I think these two are fine. Electromite should go back to 1. Yo, shout out to Triff, my boy. I think I think this is a combo that can come back into the game. I think it'll be cool to see how Pendulum plays in the format. The deck literally has no defensive cards, so if people play the deck right, it's gonna be super super high roll, and I think that's fine. So I think Mirage Sally can also come to 1. For all the Cybers fans out there, the card literally says if you activate this effect, you're locked into fire monster effects for the rest of the turn. So like realistically, if you activate this, you can't access code them, which is like a huge portion of like the Salamangreat engine or extra deck now is like Transcode Talker. You have like the Water Link 2 that brings back a card, right? So I think Mirage Salad can come back. It makes like the first turn board for the Hopium Salad players a little bit better. Next we have Kagari. I think that card can come back to 1 with Engage at 1. Honestly, keeping the Sky Striker engine within just engine cards would be interesting to see what they do. I'm just curious. I don't know. Maybe this is just like fan fiction hope for like all the Sky Striker waifu bait out there. I don't know. I never really activated Engage, so this is like just bias. I kind of want to resolve it at least once. Meltdown, I think, should go to 1. Like, so I'm on the philosophy that like I think Rota cards or search cards should go to 1 just because they're just, like so powerful. So I think Meltdown should go to 1. I think the Alistair engine is like pretty annoying. And I think putting it at 1 is fine. I think you hit the Meltdown over the Alistair mainly because Meltdown's effect is actually way more relevant than Alistair's normal summon. The Meltdown-esque effect of Meltdown is just like so crazy. And if you capitalize on that, you find out that like most of like the better players are using Meltdown to its fullest. So definitely, I don't know. I think Meltdown can go to 1. Tanky, I feel like can also go to 1. It hurts Zoo's just a little bit. It honestly doesn't really hurt Zoo's consistency because you would just play more names, like more actual names, like maybe a third Bunny Blast, maybe another like, you know, another like another Zoo name, and I think that's probably all right. Nova, I think, can go to 1. I know the Dytron deck just came out, and they probably want to sell the cards, but I think Dytron to 1 is like probably fine. You know, you still have 3 Fafnir. And even though this is like one of the best cards to play around the draw, putting it at 1 makes it so they play into the draw a little bit harder. But, you know, better have it, I guess. For the quick launch, I think this card can also go to 1. The card is literally E-Telly on legs. I don't know. The card is so powerful. I honestly think this card should be at 1. Just because, like, it's a card that's not once per turn in multiples. And, you know, cards that E-Telly from the deck are generally at 1, right? Literally look at E-Telly itself. And then semi-limit at 2 copies, Nadir. You might be wondering, Pack, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would you put a card at 2? Right? Like, why would you ever do that? And I'm like, you know, if I were to think from Konami's perspective, sometimes they just put a card on the semi-limited list just because. And I think with, you know, the reprint season coming around the corner, I think putting it at 2 is perfect because it still sells the Megatons with Nadirs in them. People will still want to have the card. And at 2, it's like sometimes you see it like 20% of the time instead of 30% of the time now. Slightly less consistency. But the card is still powerful, and you just have it there. I think hitting the App Clone also makes it so you can't just Nadir into Winda anyway, so probably 2 is just fine. And then for the cards I'm unsure of, I think Terraforming should be banned. That's like kind of like a pack take moment. I just think that Terraforming kind of like messes up the designs for Field Spell in the future, because if you ever limit Terraforming, like let's say you limit like Mystic Mine, right? You never really put it at 1. It's always going to be X plus 1 because of Terraforming. So I think you should just ban Terraforming outright. So I don't like the barrier statue. I think like floodgates are like terrible in the game. So I'm thinking take out the you know, the barrier statue. I sold it. I think maybe could be at 1. These are cards that I'm just unsure of. I was thinking they're at 1. I don't know if like, you know, Warriors are ever gonna do something ever again. Maybe Hopium, but I'm not too sure. I wanted to ban Super Poly, but people are like in contentious debate about this one. Some people want to have Super Poly, other people don't. I'm on more of like the side where I think Super Poly should be banned, but it's really up for debate. It can be banned or unbanned. It's just a card that you can't really respond to. It cracks your opponent's board. You can go +1 off it. It can kill your opponent, and that's why I really don't like the card. Reboot, man. I think this card should be banned. A lot of people think this card is fine at 1. I personally think this card should be banned mainly because like the only form of interaction with like Red Reboot is like Solemn Judgment, or like if you play what's that trap card, the one they played in half format, I don't remember, man, but a Wiretap, like, oh my god, I mean, there's not a lot of cards that interact with it, and every time they draw the reboot, if you don't have the Solemn Judgment, you're probably losing. Even if you do have the Judgment as a trap player, when your life goes from 8,000 to 4,000, the combo player has a easier time just killing you. So I don't know, man. Like, putting the trap player into 4,000 life points, trading 1-for-1 with them is like fine as well, right? So it's just crazy. And then Harpy Feather or like Duster. Look, I want to ban this card as well, mainly because it's a card that like you can draw into the mid game that makes it very powerful. And it's like, you know, worse than like LS when you top deck it into the mid game, and like that's like the main reason for me. It just has no restrictions at all. And for some people, it might be like, OMG, Omega Law pack, you're like a trap player. No wonder you want Duster or Reboot ban. I'm like, no, I play combo, I play control. That's not how I look at these cards. I'm not trying to ban cards or be biased towards X, Y, and Z. I just think that these cards don't have a lot of counterplay. And like they're super sacky one-ofs, and they're way too powerful for what they do, right? And so that I want these cards like kind of gone. The other card is like Call by the Grave. I thought that card should be banned. It's like people don't understand. Call by the Grave at 3 is a double-edged sword. If you're like a combo player going second into a board where they have Call by as a trap card, it's very, very hard to beat like Call by the Grave on Ben 10, Call by the Grave on any Diatron name, Call by the Grave on like, you know, Spheres, Call by the Grave on like. It's a strong offensive card going first for combo decks, but it's also a double-edged sword because it's a very good defensive card for like trap players. It's a defensive card that doesn't lose to reboot as well, right? Like I think Call by the Grave is actually very, very insane, being that it's like a trap almost on top of being a combo piece, or like a way to like help your combo go through. So that's my pack take for the wish list for the prediction hybrid that I have for the 2020 July or 2021 July ban list. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are. And yeah, guys, and if you got this far to the end of the video, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.